A good day to you all, and my name is Dr. Rao, and I am from India. I am a trustee with the Art of Living Vertical for Agriculture. And today I want to speak to you about a project where we are working with sustainable agriculture for tribal populations. The state where we are working on, the location is somewhere in the central southern part of India, and the city that is closest to it is called Aurangabad. And here, what we are doing is it's a 3 year project. We are about a third into it. We finished a year and we've got 2 more years to go. And what we are doing in this project is we are adopting 10 villages and 10,000 tribal farmers are being trained in a very sustainable agriculture technology that is called Vedic agriculture. It's based on our Vedic traditions that date back to over 5,000 years. And the entire tradition is being revived today because even in these remote tribal areas, which have never seen a grain of agrochemical fertilizer or pesticide, suddenly we've seen ingress of such pesticides and fertilizers coming into these areas. And these areas have traditionally farmed without the need for chemical inputs. Now, the government of India, through its Ministry of Tribal Affairs, has collaborated with us in this project, which is called Go Adharit Tribal Farmer. Go Adharit Tribal Go Adharit means based on cow. Go Adharit Atmanirbhar Tribal Farmer. That's the name of the project. Atmanirbhar means somebody who's able to stand on his own feet, who is self-sufficient, self-reliant. That sort of a connotation. So creating farmers who are self-reliant and using a technology that is based on the indigenous cows, which we call the zebu cows, yeah, the indigenous Bos indicus lineage of cows. So, a quick recap on why we are talking about this cow based agriculture. Now, this Vedic agriculture dates back, like I said, 5,000 years, and it's based on this fundamental principle that soil has got abundant nutrients, but they are in a form where they are locked as minerals, complex mineral salts, which are not readily available to the plants. So, these minerals require the nutrient solubilizing microbes to break them down and release it to the plants. And the populations of such NSMs, the nutrient solubilizing microbes, are present in the gut of the indigenous cows. And therefore, using fresh indigenous cow dung and cow urine, we prepare multiple formulations like Jivamrita, Ganajivamrita, Bijamrita. We prepare pest repellent formulations like Nemastra, Brahmastra, Agniastra. We make so many things out of this. Just cow dung and cow urine, we create immense amount of formulations which the farmer can make without any cost. And these can create a very sustainable farming model that is chemical free. It does not pollute the environment. It enhances the soil carbon and revives the soil microbial populations and the earthworms and all that come with it. So, in this particular project, we are training the farmers to revive this kind of ancient knowledge that they once had. That's the first part. Now, in doing that, it gives opportunity for several rural micro entrepreneurship opportunities. Like, for example, the very same bioformulations that I'm talking about, like Jivamrita, Gana Jivamrita, Bijamrita, or the various pest control formulations, farmer groups or farmer clusters or women's self-help groups can create these formulations for consumption by the farmers in their community or even sell it to other farmers who might want it. So that's one opportunity. Second opportunity that comes up is that to successfully use this technology of Vedic agriculture, you need indigenous seeds because hybrid seeds or GMO seeds will not work because they grow at a very fast pace and the soil, the nutrient solubilizing microbes, they cannot provide the nutrients at the pace required by hybrid or GMO seeds. Therefore, they require indigenous seeds. Today, indigenous seeds have all but disappeared from this planet. Therefore, production of indigenous seeds becomes an interesting business opportunity. The next, the the farmed produce grown through chemical free techniques such as Vedic agriculture, which is very different from organic farming, these products have got a huge market and demand that is there in the metro cities. Therefore, we create market linkages for the produce to come to the metros. We create opportunities where the tribals can grow medicinal crops because today what has happened, we have a huge herbal pharmaceutical industry in India which is called nutraceuticals. Now, just like the pharmaceuticals, you have these herb-based pharmaceuticals industry, and it feeds a very large demand for a particular branch of medicine that's called Ayurveda in India, which is herbal medicine. And till now, herbs were harvested from the jungles, from the wild, and that was enough to cater to the demand of this industry. However, in recent times, especially post COVID times, there's been a huge surge of demand for these natural herbal products. Now, it is now the pharmaceutical companies have realized that uh, no more can they uh, get the demand met by harvesting from the wild because the wild jungle harvest that was there earlier, those are almost gone. They've become overexploited and those herbs are no more there. So now the pharmaceutical industry has reached out to farmers to do commercial contract farming of these herbals. So at Art of Living, we work with 2.2 million farmers across the country. And in this particular project, where we are adopting 10,000 farmers in 10 villages and hand holding them for a period of 3 years, what we are finding is that these farmers are very eager to exploit additional revenue streams. So when we are giving them things like contract farming for herbal medicinals, they are very excited because what our experience has been is that growing these herbal plants is extremely easy because actually they were considered weeds, they were considered wild plants, so they're very hardy. They require less water, they require less care, very few pests come on them, you know, and you get an excellent return. So a part of their land is now being used for for the cultivation of herbal medicinal products. Now we also create for them plant nurseries because there's a huge demand for nurseries where plant material can be bought by other farmers or homeowners or whatever. There's a huge demand for nursery plants. So we teach them how to do nurseries. So all such linkages, that is value chain linkages, they contribute to this kind of sustainable agriculture. And we are well on the way to meeting our targets, which we have given to the ministry for what we have to do over 3 years. And as you can see from the table, we are already there. Most of the targets we've already met, and whatever targets are remaining will be soon completed before the end of the year. Now, what additionally we do is that we get the organic certification for the farmers that their product is chemical free, and that's a huge thing for the farmers because without some differentiator for the product. They will not be able to get a premium return for the product. So we have in India something called the PGS India System of Certification, which is basically participatory guarantee system. It's a government certification. So we register all our farmers onto the government portal so that they can take advantage of this. So providing the technology that is required to do cultivation of crops you without using chemical fertilizers, chemical pesticides, chemical weedicides, doing it all organically at a very, very inexpensive in an inexpensive manner because everything, all these can be made by the farmers themselves. Creating micro entrepreneurship opportunities through formulations, through seed production, through packaging and value addition like drying of the crop, cleaning of the crop, packaging. So, first few steps of value addition, you know, which can be done by the women self help groups and creating alternative streams like nursery plant production, medicinal plant cultivation, contract farming for medicinal plants. All these put together, they create a very vibrant model which can be scaled and replicated. And that is the intention of the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. What they are doing, these projects, these are called research projects, they create centers of excellence. So they test out a technology or a project like this, and then if it is successful, then they scale it across the country. So we are very confident that such a project will be successful. At the end of 3 years, we'll have this independently audited by a third party auditor and then present the data to the ministry, who will then take it for scaling across the country. So this is a typical example of where something that is very ancient belongs to the land as traditional ecological knowledge. It is being revived. And in reviving, we are creating micro entrepreneurship opportunities as well as creating a premium product to which we make the supply linkages, direct to customer linkages. And in effect, we fulfill the vision of the project. So the vision of the project is at the end of 3 years, we should be able to double the farmer's income. So I hope you have got a glimpse of the kind of work that we do here, the kind of strategies that we adopt here, the kind of monitoring and audit that we intend to do to establish a scalable technology for the improvement of very weak farmers, the very weaker section of farmers in very remote areas of the country. Thank you very much for the opportunity to make this presentation to you all.